Hey there, everyone. Dr. Beth Westy here. I wanted to pop on and talk about gut health as I'm drinking a kombucha. I'll get into this a little bit later, but see, it even says it right here. Packed with probiotics. Love this. This is a really good flavor. It tastes like Dr. Pepper. So I drink a lot of these, a lot of different kinds of these. So this is just one that I enjoy. So we're going to talk about gut health. This is something that I chat with a lot of women about, especially in the 12-week program that I have where I teach women how to eat for their hormones and their cycle. A big piece of that we have to work through often is your gut health. How healthy is your system? How healthy is your body in processing the food and nutrition that you're eating? I talk about some of this stuff too in my book, The Female Fat Solution, which is just on Amazon. And I've done some podcasts as well around this topic. The Female Health Solution is my podcast, so subscribe to that if you haven't subscribed already. But one of the things when I work with women and talking about hormones, and that's the biggest thing I want to end with here today, is that when women have a hormone issue or when their metabolism slows down or all these other things, it takes a toll on your gut health. And what, surprise, surprise, I know you guys are going to be really shocked by this, but guess what? Stress, horrific reaction on your gut. Yes. Here we go. Important things about the gut to know before I dive into a few pieces here on how to really work with your guts and your intestines, making sure things working fabulously. 70% of your immune system is in your gut, right? There's also an important correlation I talk about between your skin and your digestive system and your intestines. Sort of like your skin is a mirror of what is really going on in your intestines. So if you tend to break out in a certain area of your body all the time, it may be a reaction to something that you're eating, or that there's a certain area of your intestine that's really not doing so good. Yeah. So just kind of keep that in mind. For some people that have like a rash in a certain place or any type of skin thing, oftentimes I say, hey, how's your gut health, right? Because again, your body's reacting to something. You can't, that's the hard thing. You can't like see what's going on the inside of your body. It's not like you can like put up a window to your belly and say, oop, what's going on in there? Are you doing okay? Blah, 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 right? No, but that's where your immune system lies. And so the health and strength of your entire body rests in your guts. That's important, right? Another thing to kind of keep in mind here too is that a majority of your serotonin production, again, that's mood for your brains and everything, happens in your gut. It's a big deal, right? It's a big deal. Again, this is something that not enough women know about. They'll think, oh, I'm not motivated enough to get to the gym. Oh, I just crave this or that, so I crash on my diet. Or, oh, I screw this up, right? But really, it can be as simple as, you know what? Your gut is not healthy enough to help you stay on track. You know, so these are the things that I really love to go through with women in my program. And if you're finding this information valuable, I would so love and appreciate you sharing this video, especially with somebody that you know that could benefit from learning some of this about, hey, you know, like, don't get so down on yourself. Like, it's, you know, getting your body physically on the right track can pay off in dividends in terms of, oh, it's easier to stay there then. Okay. Another really fun thing. So, you know, so 70%, that's a lot. And then your serotonin, because that deals with your mood. Now, the timing of it can take 24 to 42 hours for your food to move through your system. So here's something that I hear from a lot of people, and this is a general statement, where they'll say, oh, I don't do well with this, that, or the other food. I ate that, and then I had diarrhea right away. I'm like, well, no. It takes 6 or 8 hours for that food that you eat to even reach your colon. It's not, you know, it's not like I put it in and then it comes out. No, it's a really long path, you know, down to your stomach and through all those turns and everything to get to the outside again, I should say. Right? So it takes a long time. Hi, KB. It takes a really long time for food to move all the way through. Now, this is also a big difference. It can take up to 1 day. It can take up to 3 days. Are you kidding? What? Yeah, there can be a difference. If your digestive system is moving really slowly, if you don't have enough any of these prebiotics, probiotics, or your hormones are acting up and causing this to slow down, it can be 3 days. That means that if you're going to go to the bathroom, what's happening is something you ate 3 days ago. Yeah. Having a healthy, active digestive system is really, really important. What if food is moving? Ooh, good question, Crystal. Good question. Okay, so what if food is moving too quick? This is an excellent question. So this also, again, like it's like the Goldilocks and the Three Bears situation here with the gut. You don't want it to be too hot or too fast. You don't want it to be too slow or too cold. You want it to be just right. If things are moving through too quickly, your body doesn't get, malabsorption. It's not getting enough time to absorb the nutrient from the food that you're eating. This is often why too. So hormones, this is just a point here for women, especially during pregnancy, during the progesterone phase. That's days 15 through 28 of your cycle, when your body's higher in progesterone. And then during pregnancy, your digestive system slows down. Progesterone slows your digestive system down so it can suck even more of the nutrient out of the food that you're eating. So if things are moving through too quickly, and it can be for a number of reasons, right? Like it can be, say you're eating something that is irritating to your system. Say you're eating something that is, it's not doing well. So for people who have celiac, their digestive system, the cells in there that are supposed to help absorb the food are blunted, so food just goes right through without being broken down properly. That's moving too fast. You don't get the time to absorb the nutrients, and then it doesn't, then you're malnourished. You can be malnourished. And as a country in general, we are overfed and undernourished. Think about that. We're overfed and undernourished because the food that we're generally taking in is not dense in nutrients that are fueling our body, right? So that compiled with, if you've got something going on, like say you're getting into contact with, say, dairy, that's a common one for people, causes irritation, causes problems, and things move through. Now it's not just that dairy that's moving through, it's all these other nutrients that you're eating along with it that are getting pushed by as well that you're not getting, right? So if you're eating a healthy salad, but you're also getting cheese with it, and say that cheese is irritating to you, your body's going to say, nope, we don't like the cheese, boop, 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 move it through. But what else is in there? All the healthy nutrients from this like amazing healthy kale salad, and you had like cucumbers and all, right? Good stuff. That gets moved through too, so you're not absorbing it. So really, really important to keep in mind. Now, the body does, have, say, a checks and balances system of, say you eat something that's not so good, or, for those of you that have had food poisoning, you know what I'm talking about. It finds the quickest way to detox. We'll say just quickest way to detox, and it can be from like both ends at the same time, that your body's like, well, we're detoxing this, moving through really, really quickly. But you'll also like think about that if you've had food poisoning, you know what I'm talking about. Food poisoning, your body flushes everything through because it's trying to get rid of that food poison. But even if you could eat anything else, your body's not going to absorb the nutrient until your system calms down. So if you're eating something, your digestive system is on the fritz, then it's real important that you work on your gut health and healing these things overall so you get these nutrients. Now, also, your digestive system moving too quick or too slow, other things besides the nutrient absorption issue is that your immune system isn't going to be functioning as well. Your serotonin production isn't going to be as great. Again, with the timing, think about this. You have food sitting in here. Say it's even slower than this. Say it's more than 3 days. Say it's 5 days. A burger you ate 5 days ago is sitting in your gut. Is it just sitting there? You leave a burger on the counter for 5 days. What does it do? Gross. Now imagine it sitting, chewed up pieces of burger, festering in your stomach acid for 5 days. Right? That's my first reaction to that. But that festering, that's what's happening in your gut. that's what's happening on the inside. Now imagine what that's going to do to your overall digestive system. Like it's just like rotting on the inside. Your body's not able to move it through as quickly. That's going to lead to a lot of, to be very blunt, bad gas, really like smelly BMs, like lots of bloating, discomfort. It can lead to a lot of like heartburn, a lot of issues, right? So timing is a really big deal. So all these things to take into account, right? When you have a healthy moving digestive system, it's one of those things that when it's going well, you kind of forget about it and you almost take it for granted, right? But it can be work. It can be work. Approximately how long should food sit in your body? Again, it can be 24 to 72 hours. Yeah. But so if you eat something, overall, it'll be at least 12 hours to 24 hours before it even starts to really move through. Between eating, it's like 6 to 8 hours before it even reaches, your colon, the start of your large intestine. And then there's that whole process that it goes through. So, yes. Okay. So what do we do about this, right? So, and again, for women, when I focus on, issues for women and the shift and change in hormone and how that affects your digestive system, these are things to keep in mind because there are different things that I do at different times of the month because your body's different. Body chemistry is different times of the month. So there's different things that I recommend to say, hey, your body hormonally is a little different right now and it's struggling a little bit more with your digestion. Here's some things that you can do to keep it moving, right? So focusing on your prebiotics, like everybody talks about probiotics, right? Like lactobacillus, acidophilus, right? Fancy long words, illus words, which you can, again, live probiotics are in kombucha. You can, sauerkraut, kimchi, there's foods, live active cultures and yogurts. Those are really good probiotics, right? Prebiotics is something that kind of gets missed over. And those are fibers that are naturally found in foods that are really, really essential for your overall gut health. So onions, garlic, legumes, right? Just a few of those to keep in mind for your gut health overall. But keep in mind, you have to have a really healthy, strong gut and maintain that for a period of time. And that anytime your hormones can change, that can alter it, which means throughout the month. Yay! You can feel like one week you're like everything's great. I'm eating healthy. I'm doing my exercises. I'm taking my supplements. Life is great. And then the next week you're like, what the ever loving happened? I didn't change. I didn't change my routine. I didn't change what I'm doing. But all of a sudden, it is like snail's pace. It's like a sloth trying to move through my digestive system. Right? Like just slower than slow can be. What is happening? Hormones. Yep. Hormones can do that. Yeah. So, stress can also play a big, big role. When your body's really stressed out, it goes into survival mode. So it doesn't focus on keeping even as much blood going to your digestive system as normal. So good, right? In terms of kombucha throughout the day, it depends on what somebody's struggling with their digestive system. One a day is great. Oftentimes, people, what they're noticing that their digestive system is a little slower. Having some with each big meal of the day, great thing to add in because it helps your system move through this. Again, I often like to end my day. I know people are like, oh, it's a tea. There's some caffeine in it. Sure. I'm not that sensitive to caffeine, so it doesn't affect me. They do have other probiotic drinks that don't have tea, that aren't made with tea, just to keep in mind. But you get the probiotic before you go to bed. That way, as my digestive system really slows throughout the night, it still has some nice probiotic in there. Really, really yummy. Plus, I really like this flavor, too. To be honest, there's only like 1 or 2 flavors I've not liked. Let's be real. I just really love kombucha. So those are the things I want to say these are some basic things. Yeah, these are some basic things for gut health: prebiotics, probiotics, and watching the timing of it and making sure things aren't flying through you, you know, that they're not just, or they're not going super, super slow, because either one is not going to have a positive effect on your overall health. Overall, you know, so here are some other things that can help as well. Matcha, is that good? Yeah, you know, but I want to say that that's more of a boosting health benefit as well. Some things that I know that are specific for the digestive system, like licorice, is really good for your digestive system. Even like an essential oil of licorice, or essential oils like peppermint, you know, either ingesting it, make sure it's safe, or rubbing it right on, you know, use a carrier oil like coconut oil and peppermint essential oil, rub it right on your tummy. That can really help calm it down. Doing some gentle like massage, right? Clockwise on your tummy, make sure you're going in the right direction, otherwise you're going to constipate yourself. You can even Google just a picture of that. But go, you know, some of those little things that can really, really help. So, what would you do to slow it down? So it depends on what that is, Naomi. So I'll put a link below this video. If you've got some specific questions for you, I'd be more than happy to chat with you about some little timing things, because it can be tough to really understand, like, oh, do this. Well, it might depend. You know, maybe you're ingesting something that's irritating for your system. Maybe, you know, it's something else, you know. So overall, that's why these are very general things to just kind of do all the time. Like peppermint oil is just good for your digestive system. Great. You know what I mean? If it's too slow, things like ginger, cinnamon, you know, all of that, those are really good to kind of move your digestive system along. But if it really needs to calm down, it can depend on what's irritating it to what would be a good next step, we'll say. So I'll put a link below. You can schedule a call. You can ask questions. More than happy to kind of move you and help you navigate in the right direction. Another thing to note too, that if you are going through, like if you've got a lot of stress and your body's trying to process that stress and your liver is in charge of metabolizing cortisol, right? It may, you know, be tough sometimes. You may go through phases of, if you have a really stressful week, you may feel like, what the heck is going on with my digestive system? Yeah. Because then your liver has to process it, and that's going to change a lot with your digestive system. So I want to say, it's not like you and everybody like thinks of, well, what did I eat today? Well, it doesn't, you know, that's not necessarily it. It's not about the last meal that you ate. It's not necessarily just about what you ate that day. What are you repeatedly eating? How are you consistently fueling your body? How are you giving your body a break from digestion, you know, with intermittent fasting or things like that? You know, how have you been eating this whole week? You know, have you been sleeping enough? All these things are really important for your overall gut health. So I know these are kind of general recommendations, and there's just a few of them. But again, if you do have a question, if this is kind of triggering something where you're like, I feel like this might be holding me back from getting my results or feeling my healthiest or strongest or whatever, time to retest adrenal fatigue. Oh yeah, yes. Like again, adrenal fatigue, all that stuff can really affect how well things are moving here. So, I'll put a link below. I'm more than happy to chat with you about questions you have. Because this is a tricky thing, and there's a lot of women that have issues with this, and they might not even realize it. You might not even realize that this is a problem until you were like, oh my God, that's not normal, or I only go every 4 days. Is that okay? I don't know. Is it okay? Or I have, I go all the time. I go 8 times a day, and it's very, very watery. Yeah, that's probably not good. So different things to help stay regulated, but also realizing that, again, stress and then different times of the month can alter everything here. I know, right? It's like a constant moving target that you got to stay on top of. Yay for being a woman. All right. So like I said, some of these resources are in my book, which is on Amazon, my podcast, The Female Health Solution, which you can subscribe to. And then I'll put a link below, or if you've got questions on any of this stuff, I'm more than happy to chat with you. And then again, please, if you found this helpful, I would so love and appreciate you helping me in my mission to help share this message with as many women as possible, so that women aren't kept guessing and in the dark. So yay. Thanks everybody, and have a great night.